Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Raw report for the 3rd of October 2022. This is the go home show for the Extreme Rules premiere event. Um, I've watched bits and pieces of Raw, maybe a couple full shows in the last 2 months, but have missed a good number of shows. So this is kind of my first full, certainly review in a couple of months since the end of July. But needless to say, better than it used to be by far, but still a long way to go before WWE wins me back over. Judgment Day enters. Jimmy Smith mentions that Daniel Cormier is going to be the special referee in the Rollins Riddle pit fight match, and Ariel Helwani breaks the news. Not necessarily sure that that's something that really matters to today's modern wrestling fan, but maybe it does. Who knows? Anyway, Finn Balor warns Edge that you could only outrun them for so long. Judgment Day would cause Edge to say, I quit at the hands of Finn Balor. Damian Priest issues a warning to their opponents tonight, AJ and Mysterio. Crowd chant, Who's your daddy at Dominic. Dom says that Ray wasn't his father because he hated him. Balor goes on about Styles until Styles' music interrupts. Styles and Ray clear the ring, and we go to commercial. We come back for Balor and Priest with Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio defeating AJ and Ray in 11 minutes. Match starts during the break, still a bad habit, and heels maintain control for the majority of the match. Through the second break, they work over Styles, and he can't make the tag. Rhea Ripley yanks Ray off the apron. And then Balor and Priest hit a double DDT, which gets a decent reaction for them. Ray recovers and confronts Ripley. Dominic gets in to protect her. Styles looks for the tag, but no one's there. Balor hits him with a dropkick and the coup de grace for the pinfall win. Certainly, the heels look really strong. Anyway, after the match, Ray tries to help Styles. Styles is angry and blames Ray, so maybe we're going to a program there. Balor attacks Styles from behind, and Judgment Day lays him out. Does feel like they are trying to give Judgment Day a more sinister feel. Kevin Patrick asked Bobby Lashley about his dominant 3-month title reign. Didn't realize it's been 3 months already. Lashley then says the man makes the title. He's beaten the best during his run, including McIntyre, Reigns, Lesnar, and Rollins. He wants to face someone with the same desires as him. Mustafa Ali approaches. I'm sorry, they've already killed this character off in my eyes, so I'm not a fan of this. Anyway, he demands a match. Lashley didn't like how confrontational it all got, but eventually agrees to the contest. In the back, Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso were laughing over the story. Zane told Sikoa isn't amused. Jey Uso approaches them, and he's not impressed either. He thought they should be taking care of business. Jimmy tells him to cool out a bit. The Usos want to make him continue, so they have excuses to beat up. They note that Ford has a walking boot over his injured foot, and off we go there. Lashley defeats Mustafa Ali in a non-title match. 11 minutes, 29 seconds. This honestly felt like it went too long. Lashley's in control after the break. Ali hits a 450 splash. Lashley's arm then manages to go at things. Lashley then chucks him out of the ring and drives him into the ring post. Lashley also tosses him into the timekeeper's area. Ali barely breaks the 10 count, gets back in. Lashley's going to help Ali to his feet after the match, but Seth Rollins runs in from behind and attacks him. Rollins lays out Lashley with a couple of curve stomps, and Rollins also stomps Ali outside the ring as we go into the second hour. I'm not a fan of going back to Lashley and Rollins. Anyway, Rollins and Riddle are face to face. Rollins then speaks about the fight pit, and they played video package hyping it. Riddle enters, and he's baffled by his opponent calling himself the king of the fight pit. Basically, he threatens to kill Rollins and says Cormier would have to pull him away. Rollins also informed him that Cormier would be on Rollins' side because Cormier isn't a fan of Riddle's. Rollins then tries to egg him on about not being able to see his kids and having to pay child support. Riddle then brushed it off. He asked Rollins when was the last time he had a championship. In the last match, he had gotten choked out by Roman Reigns. He also wondered when the last time Rollins main evented WrestleMania, but remembered he never had. But his wife has. Rollins then gets up in things about this. Anyway, Candice LeRae walks through the back and walked by Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss. Belair wished her luck in her match. QR code appears on the screen for the what I assume is a Bray Wyatt thing. Anyway, elsewhere, Miz speaks to Maurice on the phone. Dexter Lumis appears behind him for a moment. Miz manages to get away before getting grabbed. Dakota Kai with Bayley and Io Shirai, or Io Sky, defeats Candice LeRae. 11:02. Kai takes control. Bunch of rapid kicks to the head. LeRae avoids a running corner boot and hits a boot of her own. They battle into the buckle. Sky then distracts referee. Bayley trips LeRae, and the crowd seems to be getting into this before the screwball finish. Johnny Gargano walks through the back. Loomis sits on a equipment box and then knocked out The Miz in his arms. Elsewhere, Sarah interviews Bayley, who bragged about Kai's win. She then plans on doing Belair a favor and said she'd put the two of them in the ring for the contract signing. She warns Belair that this is what she asked for. The announcers speak about Antonio Inoki, easy for me to say, and they are, everybody, is respectful there. Chad Gable video package speaking about his match against Braun Strowman. It includes clips of the two of them together in a non-wrestling setting. Gable claims, and he trained Strowman and said he had Strowman's first match. Gable's ready for him. Otis with Gable in Theory defeats Johnny Gargano, 6:39. Otis is in control. Gargano fights back with a DDT and a super kick for near fall. They spill the outside. Gargano takes the opportunity to attack Theory, and then the ref doesn't notice the fact that Theory hits Gargano in the back with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and ultimately that leads to a World's Strongest Slam for the win. Not a fan of this. Theory, Otis, and Gable attacked Gargano after the match. Strowman runs out, making the save. He runs out before Otis began nailing Gable in the ring. Start the match. Strowman defeats Gable in 7:05. Honestly, Strowman's been gone for how long? And he's having trouble with a guy like Chad Gable after being back for less than 2 months. Not a fan of that either. Otis launches Strowman over the announce table during the break. Referee kicks him out. Gable then gives Strowman an awesome German suplex. That impresses the crowd. Gable then's on fire, follows up with a running drop kick. Misses a moonsault. Strowman boots him. Strowman then finishes him off with a powerbomb for the pinfall win. I don't know, it just feels flat. Almost is shown watching with MVP in the back. Trainer checks on Lashley. Patrick asked about how he's doing. Lashley wanted to crush Rollins. Rollins is going to end up in the Hurt Lock and being made to scream. Bianca Belair and Bayley go into the contract signing. Graves basically kills time there. Bayley drones on about her plan coming to fruition until she decides she wants things to be different. Belair signs the contract. Belair said fans stop caring about Bayley because she's pretending to be someone she's not. Bayley didn't evolve. She's only now showing her true self. Bayley then has heard enough and started to wonder where her friends were. Camera in the back shows Kai and Sky beating up Asuka and Bliss. Bayley used the distraction to attack Belair. Decent enough segment, although I'm really done with the whole contract signing things. Announcers plug the NXT after Saturday's Extreme Rules. Anyway, Solo Sikoa with the Usos and Sami Zayn defeats Angelo Dawkins with Montez Ford. 12:02. This did not need to be 12 minutes. Sikoa has full control. Dawkins comes back with an enziguri. Spinning back elbow and a silencer for a near fall. Jay and Sammy argue on the apron. Sikoa hits a super kick, and ref gets distracted for his trouble. Usos and Zane argue again, and Dawkins knocks Sikoa out of the ring. After the three of them argues, Dawkins wipes him out. Extra time allows Sikoa to hit Dawkins with a spinning kick and gets back in the ring. Sikoa then hits spinning rock bottom for the win. Then they go. Theory tells Alpha Academy that he's challenging Gargano to a match next week. Basically, we have a premium event, and it's not premium event worthy, even though Theory is probably one of the best long-term plans they have. Anyway, Edge cuts promo, does a pre-tape. He says this version of Edge you're seeing is pretty much himself. It's Adam. Veil character is pretty much lifted. He speaks about coming back after being told that his career is over 11 years ago. It's getting harder now at age of 46. He doesn't want you to feel bad for him, though, because this is his dream. This is his chance, but it's just hard on him anymore. He says it's hard on his family. He doesn't have this family. He didn't have this family before. He can't ignore that his daughters hear him coming down the stairs in the morning. It sounds like a symphony of bones cracking. Edge gives Judgment Day credit for what they've done. He warns Balor and Judgment Day that there's nothing they could do to him physically that'd make him say, "I quit." He hopes they're ready because he was. Next week on season premiere of Raw, Roman Reigns and the Bloodline appear. Lashley and Rollins for the U.S. title. Gargano and Austin Theory. DX Union. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, and X-Pac, Io Shirai, and Io Sky with Bayley, and Dakota Kai defeat Alexa Bliss with Bianca Belair. 9:19 after the break. Sky hits a double knee strike in the corner, but misses a moonsault, and Bliss DDT. Bliss twisted Bliss, but Bayley distracts the referee. Bliss wipes out the heels with a dive to the outside. Goes to the top, but Sky grabs her and hits the air raid crash, following moonsault for the pinfall win. Damage Control attacks Bliss after the match and hits Belair with a ladder. Asuka runs out. Bayley, Kai, and Sky continue beating down until they pose with the ladder, and the announcers plug Extreme Rules, and off we go. After not watching Raw for a couple of months, I can honestly say I was underwhelmed for all the compliments I've seen, but hey, it is what it is, and at least they're trying. We'll be back with more right after this.